Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan Battle video. And today I thought it would be really a good idea just before the 6th-year anniversary to do like a beginner's guide, just because there could be a lot of new players coming in or maybe returning players that haven't played in a while. So this could be useful for both of you. And I'm going to split up this beginner's video into different segments because I tried recording it all in one and it got too long, and actually I ran out of room on my phone to actually save it and it didn't even go through. So I'm going to try breaking it up into smaller, more manageable sections. That way you can look through my playlist and maybe pick only the videos that are going to apply to you. So this first video, I'm literally just going to go through all of the menu and interface of the game and explain what is under each menu and kind of what you should be concerned about. So I'm not even going to go into like gameplay or team building or any of that stuff yet. That stuff's going to be covered in other videos, okay? This can be good also for returning players because the interface has changed over time. So there might be like different sections that you don't even understand what they are, right? But I'm treating this from like a very beginner, like brand new player perspective. So a lot of the stuff I'm going to talk about is very, very basic, okay? So I'm going to start with the bottom tab where you see home, team, summon, shop, and exchange. Right now we are on the home screen, so we're going to go to the team tab. So when we go to the team tab, the first button there is to actually build and create your teams. I'm going to do a separate video on team building, so be sure to watch that if you want to know how to build your team. There's an option to sell your units for Zenny. There's an option to train your units. That's where you use training items to level up your units, which you want to make sure you do. There's an Awaken tab where you use Awakening medals to either Dokkan Awaken or just regular Awaken units. The Item tab just shows all of the items you've acquired in the game. The Character list will just show all of the characters that you currently own. Dokkan Awaken is where you can actually look at characters and you can look at charts that show all of their awakenings, and it does go by default, it's sorting them by the order released, so you could click on a unit and see what you need to awaken those units there. Honestly, I never ever go into that tab, but some people might find that useful. Hidden potential is a more advanced feature that if you're a brand new beginner, you're not going to be doing hidden potential right away, but you will want to get into that. I will talk about hidden potential in a later video in this tutorial. Probably there'll be a video on like units and team building, and I'll talk about like the makeup of a unit, all of the parts of a unit, and ways you can power up the units. So that'll be in that part. So if you're interested in that, go check out that part of the video. Reversing a character means like downgrading their awakening. You may have to do that at certain times to help with their hidden potential. That stuff will be explained in that video. And then the special sticker you wouldn't really have to concern yourself with as a new player. Basically, throughout the game, you can acquire stickers that give special background. So like this card does not have a sticker, and then this card does have a sticker, and you can see the sticker just adds like movement and effects to the background. So that's more of just an aesthetic, not something super important for like a brand new player, okay? The next tab, the tab that the developers want you to click on a lot, is the summon tab. So basically you'll see a bunch of banners that you can summon on. Some of them will require dragon stones, which is the main currency in the game. You can see my dragon stone count in the upper right there. It's the orange stone with the 718 next to it. There's also a friend summon. This is going to be good early on for new players because you're going to earn friend points as you play. And early on, especially if you're going to try to like hold on to your summoning materials for like the really good banners, you might want to live off of units you get in the friend summon and just try to build the best teams you can. And then there'll be some other special like ticket summons and things like that. The next tab is the shop tab, another tab that the developers would like you to go into quite a bit. So the first tab, and this has been very recently updated, so if you're a returning player, the shop tab is actually going to look different. So the first page you're going to see is where you can buy dragon stones, which is the premium currency. If you're completely free to play, then you're never even going to go in here and buy stones. Some people are like to purchase once in a while. If you're someone that you're not going to be like a total whale, I recommend just waiting and only buying sales. Sales typically come out with every new banner and every big celebration. The large celebration sales are always way better than the regular banners. There's another option called the daily capsule. This is basically like a subscription service, but you're not like auto enrolled. You just renew it every 30 days manually if you want to keep it going. This, excuse me, this is the best value for your money if you're willing to spend a little bit on the game and you want some stones. So I always buy this $10 pack. Because over the course of 30 days, you get like 90 something dragon stones for only $10, which is like really, really cheap. So that's like getting almost 2 multis for $10. And normally a multi is like 45 bucks or something. Like or not that much, it's like 30 something dollars per multi. So it's way cheaper per multi if you buy this daily capsule. And then there's a special tab that'll have like rank packs, ticket packs, hidden potential packs. Never buy the hidden potential packs, by the way. Those are garbage. But if you're literally a brand new player and you think you're going to like the game and you're willing to spend money, I highly recommend picking up this beginner pack. You can see I bought it myself. But you get some awakening medals, some Hercule statues to get you started, which will give you some money. You get some dragon stones. But the big thing is you get like this beginner's ticket, which is really awesome because you're going to guarantee yourself like a really good a good SSR to start the game. So that'll take me to the last tab on the bottom here, which is this Baba shop. So it says new exchange in the bottom right here. The Baba shop basically is where you can turn in units or items for these Baba coins, which are purple. And you can there's this little shop here that refreshes every half an hour that'll have random medals and training items and things like that in there. There's even some special units. I don't recommend you buy those right now, especially early in the game. They're not very good. Eventually, they'll probably get awakenings and be good, but right now, for a new player, you don't need these units that cost 30,000. Don't worry about those. Just focus on, and you're not going to have Baba points like a ton right away unless you're summoning a lot, so you really don't need to worry about that part right now. The Zenny store here has some training items and things you can buy for Zenny. I do not recommend using this at all for a new player because you're going to need all the Zenny you can get, and everything in here is easily farmable, with the exception of some of these awakening medals, but these are for like more advanced things that you don't need to worry about right now. And these are units, honestly. These awakening medals are for the LR Hercule that comes in the friend point summon, and that's not even worth like using your money on early in the game, and he's not even that good. So don't worry about any of the Zenny stuff, okay? The treasure is an area you might go into. So what I would do is scroll to the right and you'll see all these different currencies you can buy things with. But basically you'll see here this beginner's ticket. If you buy that $10 pack, you're going to get a beginner ticket. And what I recommend you do is you go in here and you pick up, there's one of 3 units I would pick up if this is literally a fresh brand new account and you have no units. I recommend you grab either this AGL Vegito, this Tech Go Tanks, or this Int Boo. And the reason why is because they, out of everything in here, will have the best leader skill as an unawakened SSR, because as a brand new player, you're not going to be able to instantly Dokkan awaken units, and you're not going to instantly be able to EZA units, because some of the other units in here have way better leader skills once they're fully built up, but you're not at that point yet. So I'd say if you want something like day 1 to help you get going, pick one of these, and basically he's going to be a leader for AGL units. Gotenks is going to be for Tech, and Boo is going to be for Int. So maybe you do some friend summons and you get started a little bit, or maybe you have a couple units in your box. Maybe based on which typing you want to build up, that's the character I would buy. Okay. Now, if you're talking about overall during endgame, the AGL Vegito is definitely the best of the bunch, but none of these 3 are like the most fantastic unit in the game. I would say that beginner's ticket, though, is really meant just to give you a head start. If you don't care about that and you just want like who's going to be the best unit in the end game, I would say the best one to buy would be like the Int Janemba, the physical Boo just because he's a great support unit, or probably like the Strength Gogeta. Those would probably be like the best end game characters to buy. But even me myself, like Janemba is probably the one that is the most useful as like someone in my position who's an end game player. So you can decide, but once again, if you're not going to spend money on the game, don't worry about it. So yeah, and then some of these items in the Baba shop will be things you can collect from story events, and then you can exchange them for very, very useful items. And then this secret treasure chest, if you're starting the game and there is a chain battle, that's what this is for. This is where you spend the chain battle currency, and basically you get equips for your characters. Equips I'll talk more about when I do the character building and team building guide, so you can look forward to that later. And then in the upper right corner, you'll see this purple plus button in the very upper right. Basically, Dokkan has a new mechanic where if you have a character rainbowed, which is like a fully maxed out character, you can actually turn in extra copies of those characters for coins. So basically, you do not want to be selling characters for Zenny, like SSR or higher characters. Don't ever sell them for Zenny. and I wouldn't sell them for Baba coins. I would save them because you either want to build them up and max them out or turn them in for coins. And then here you can also exchange other things for Baba coins. As a brand new player, I really wouldn't even mess with that or worry about that right now. Your goal as a new player is just to get a decent team built up and complete content and build up resources, right? All right, so next I'm going to go through the tabs in the middle. So in the upper left tab, it'll say Shenron, and you'll see some Dragon Balls here. As a new player, you want to collect these Dragon Balls through the quest mode, and once you collect all 7, you're going to get some wishes to unlock some very useful items and things to help you out. When you go through, I think eventually you will unlock all the rewards, so it doesn't really matter which ones you pick because eventually you're going to get them all. But when you get the option to unlock the item slots, that's a really important one that you want to make sure you unlock, okay? So look for the Shenron, and what you'll do is you click on the Dragon Balls on here, and I already have them all, so I get this message, but it'll actually tell you like what stage you can collect them on, and they're basically going to just be floating around in quest stages, okay? The news tab in the upper right is just where you can see like all the upcoming news and banners, not too much there. The gift box in the lower right, you always want to accept your gifts. So if you see like a number there, that means there's gifts you need to accept. And then the mission tab here in the upper right, as you complete missions, you're going to get rewards in there, so you want to make sure you're always accepting those as well. And then in the bottom left, there's a little menu tab here where you can access your friends list. I do recommend, like, if you started an account and you know you want to keep the account you're on, I would do data linking and link it. So you can see mine here. I have it linked to everything. So I'm linked with Apple, with Google, with Facebook, with Game Center. You can link to as many or as little as you're comfortable with, but if you don't want to lose your account, you want to make sure it's linked up. Just some basic options for like sound effects and background and things like that. Language and voice settings, so in there you can choose if you want to do English or Japanese voices and language. The daily capsule just shows you where you're at on your daily capsule if you purchased it. The wallpaper settings, that's like the background, so like my screen right here, this is the base wallpaper you'll get, which will just show like whatever team you have. They have added other wallpapers to the game, so as a reward you might obtain wallpapers and you can change the background if you want to. The help section, you can just look if you need basic help. The history basically shows you your summon history and what you've summoned most recently, and then just returning to the title screen. So that's pretty much it for the menu right there. And then the last tab we're going to go into is the Start tab. And then in here you have the option to go into quest mode, which is the main storyline. That's the main mode you want to focus on as a beginning player. The event tab, which I'm going to go over that in a completely separate video, like more detailed, like what all the events are, but that's where special events, where you can recruit other characters, things like that are going to be in there. Portal of Memories, you're not going to be really concerned with as a new player. Basically, it allows you to use keys on events that are currently not available, and it will allow you to play them at any time. So it is very useful. If you get a character like you need to awaken and their event isn't up, you can use keys to go in and do that. The World Tournament is a special mode that only comes around once every couple, like 2 to 3 months or so. So that mode will become available pretty soon. If you're watching this when I'm recording it at the end of June, we do have a World Tournament coming up like very, very soon, like in the next couple days actually. There's an Ultimate Clash here, which is just another mode that is always up. Ultimate Clash requires you to have a large roster, and you have to be able to build a lot of teams. So Ultimate Clash is something you're not really going to be able to do as a brand new player. You're going to have to build up a little bit, but feel free to try it out once you get a team or two really built up and see how far you can get. And then Chain Battle is another mode that cycles and comes around every, I don't know, month or two or so. And that's where you earn that currency to get equips like I showed you earlier in the Baba shop. And then Patan Battle is another new event that cycles through. It's basically just an auto battle system where you earn these little card stickers and you battle with those. As a new player, this is a useful mode for you because it doesn't actually use your in-game characters. It's completely separate. So like a brand new player and an end-game player like me are starting off at exactly the same spot. So you can actually do very well in Patan Battle. So you can earn some rewards for that. So I recommend doing that as a brand new player. Okay? Alright, so I know this video has gone on quite a little bit, but this is going to conclude part 1. Just going through the menus and explaining what all those are. So if you like this beginner series, please look for my other videos. You can look for specific ones, like if you just want to learn about team building, or if you just want to learn about how to manage your stones and what you should be doing with your currency, things like that, then please check out those other videos. So thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one.